Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of our Zoom interview series for LGBT History Month with Wolds Pride. Now, today we're carrying on our series with a fabulous individual. I've known him for a couple of years now. He has two of his own organisations and he is a performer through and through. His name is Reece Kerridge. Hi Reece.
So do I do my video?
Yeah.
I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to panic. I hate it.
Now.
I'm always on your side. I'm now on the other side. I don't like it.
You're getting interviewed now. I'm good.
Oh, I know, don't. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, my darling. I'm good.
Good. So for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself to us quickly?
God, I hate this bit so much. So my name is Reece Kerridge and I am a West End performer, producer and writer and host as well, radio host.
Fantastic. Now, you've mentioned all the different things you do there, and currently you've got, in lockdown during the pandemic, that didn't stop you. You created both Sit in the Stalls and you also have Pink Pig Productions, is that correct?
I do, yes. Yeah, both of them.
Can you tell us a bit about both of those?
Oh, God, yeah. So the first one that came about was Sit in the Stalls. So we are a weekly theatre radio show. Sunday 2 to 4 on UK Radio Network. I co-host with my amazing best friend, and we call each other work colleagues. It's not really work, but we like to be professional. We try and be professional, even though we're not. Yeah, and so yeah, we basically bring all the theatre news of that week on the weekly show. We interact with our audience on social media platforms, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And the audience we do musical of the week. So we put two musicals head to head that myself and Claire pick. And our audiences vote on social media as to who they want to win. And we play songs from that show and we talk about that show. And yeah, and then we just have a good old chinwag and we have an interview with our special guest that joins us, whoever that may be. And then obviously I have Pink Pig Productions, which was set up officially in November.
Recently then?
Yeah, really recently, just in time for the release of our brand new online sitcom, The Gift That Keeps Giving. Myself and Jenna Boyd, who is in Come From Away as Beulah at the moment, we wrote a pilot episode with the all-star West End cast, which was amazing. We filmed it as like a little mini project, and I said to myself, we get 200 views by the end of the week. I would be really happy. Lo and behold, in less than 72 hours, we got like 1k views. And I was like,
wow,
this is crazy.
Then?
Literally, I was like, what's happened? Like, what did I do that's wrong?
Where's the bad edit?
Yeah. All of those things. And our editor, Ben McQueen, is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we kind of put this sitcom together, and Pink Pig houses all of the creations that I've created. So I've written, at the moment, I'm writing 2 family-friendly kids musicals. We've got other stuff in the pipeline, but we just are a production company that is for everybody, and we especially pride ourselves on inclusivity, especially within LGBTQIA+, Black Lives Matter, transgender. We are for everybody and we don't discriminate at all.
That's really encouraging, and I think it's luckily it's being seen more and more within modern day pop culture, and I think theatre too, really. Do you think it's important to include the LGBT community within your work and within your writing and interviews? Absolutely,
and I think we spoke previously just before we started recording this. We spoke about It's a Sin, which was on Channel 4, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think what's great about It's a Sin is it's educational, but it's emotional on all different levels. So it's not just, it's obviously about the AIDS crisis in London and back in the day, and it was an education. I remember watching it and I was like, I've learned so much that I never knew about this before. I knew it was bad. We all know it was bad, but I never knew it was like emotionally that bad to people that lost people close to them. We all lose family members and we lose friends, in our lifetime. But that was serious. And putting
yourself in their shoes, imagining if both of us are from the gay community and imagine all our best friends around us, our sisters and brothers, and just dying left, right, and centre. It's just, you can't imagine it.
We need that. We need that education side, but we need it to be good viewing. So me and Jenna, we write comedy. So when we wrote The Gift That Keeps Giving, yes, it was about a group of straight girls, you know, that had been played by, you know, the same guy. We included an LGBTQA plus character, so we actually had a gay character within that. And we didn't want it to be the main focus, but we wanted the focus to be on that kind of character and an issue that surrounded that character. But obviously we write in a comedy way, so we're writing issues that can be taken quite funny, whereas you take something like It's a Sin, that's something quite serious. There is comedy involved in that, and there was
lighthearted,
but there was also serious things. So as long as there's a mix of things, it's educational, you know, there's upbeat, there's emotional stuff that's going to like make you pull your heart out with emotion. I think we need that stuff. We need that
more than ever, I think, in the current climate we're in.
Exactly. And
couldn't
now we've got
more.
rid of our the what's it in America, I think things will change.
I thought you couldn't remember his name then. I thought I was thinking,
I try not to use the name because I just
like Voldemort, he who should not be named.
Exactly. But yeah, I think with Joe Biden, I think things will get better over there. So fingers crossed.
Well, fingers crossed, like you said, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Now, you have mentioned you are a West End performer. You've had a very successful career, and you studied musical theatre at a drama school. And what I'm interested in, I mean, I went to a drama school too, studied musical theatre. And personally, I didn't receive any kind of discrimination or homophobia. I didn't really witness any of that. But I just wondered whether throughout your career or training, you have experienced any, you personally, or you've witnessed homophobia, biphobia, anything like that.
Well, first of all, you say successful career. I've blagged my way through my career big time.
No, you did well. You did very well.
I look back now and I'm like, how have I landed where I've landed? I genuinely have no idea. I just blag my way through life. It's the best way to be. But yeah, I mean, college life is weird, to say the least. Did I experience like, you know, that segregation, discrimination sort of thing? No, I don't think I did. I think we are a very accepting industry of everybody. Well, I hope we are a very accepting industry. I am very accepting of whoever people want to be, what they identify as. You know, I love everybody and I will give everybody the time of day. There is one time, actually, I was doing a job and we're actually really good friends now. But I remember going in and I'm very much like, I'm not loud. I just bounce off the walls. I'm just full of energy. Yeah. So I may come across to some people as annoying, which is acceptable and understandable. But I remember the director of this show, actually, we didn't really get on. We didn't see eye to eye. And I think it's because we were very similar people. We were both gay men. We were very camp. We were very bouncy off the walls. You know, we were very similar. And a part of me questioned whether it was his position of power that said what he said. But then I thought about it and I was like, I don't think it is. And I hope it's not. I'm kind of one of those people that can brush things off quite easily. Unless it really upsets me. I'm a Cancer, so I'm like emotionally unstable at every possible moment in my life. I remember we were sorting out the covering for this show and he came over to me and I said, you know, he said, can you sing? And I said, yes, I can. He said, right, have you covered before? And I said, yeah, I covered lead roles on Shrek the Musical on tour. And he was like, oh, okay. And then it just got really frosty, like all of a sudden. And I was like, okay. And then in rehearsals, I would be picked on and just be told, like, calm down, like all of this sort of stuff. And it wasn't until we actually sat down one day, and not that I went in and said, have I done something to offend you or upset you or anything? It was very much as if, like, he sat down and he said, when we first met, I was very wary of you. And I was like, which really upsets me because I don't like people to to be like that around.
Yeah, that negative. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, and I genuinely think I'm a very open person, and people can know they can always come to me, and my door is always open, and the kettle's always on, that sort of thing. And he said, I wanted to tell you to not be so gay. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, in how you act and how you are on stage, it comes across very camp. And I said, I don't think it does. And to me, that sounds like you're telling me to not be me. And that doesn't sit well with me. And later down the line, we sat down, and after this, we kind of started bonding a little bit. We found out a lot about each other and each other's personalities, and that we were very similar. And I remember on the last day, he came up to me and he said, do you know what I said to you at the beginning of the contract? And I said, yeah. I said, it's always stuck with me, and it actually hasn't sat with me very well. And he just said, like, I was jealous of you. And I was like, for what reason? He said, back in my day, I wasn't allowed to act the way you're acting. It wasn't socially acceptable for a gay man to be that open. So to see you address your sexuality and be the way you are, I really wish I had that when I was younger, and I apologize I took that out on you. And it really took me back, because I was like, I wouldn't want anybody to feel, I don't feel jealous of me. Oh my God, like, I always say I'm the biggest joke going. I'm like a joke on legs. And for somebody to feel jealous of me and how I came across.
Just being yourself.
I was really shocked that somebody had said that. And that somebody could feel that way about themselves, that they didn't feel like they could be like that. And again, it comes back to that. It's a sin moment. This amazing man that is now one of my really close, like my dear closest friends, lived in a time where it wasn't okay and it wasn't acceptable. And it was at the time of, that the end of the AIDS crisis sort of thing, so there was that discrimination. Yeah. And it really got to me. It really upset me that things were said like that. And initially, that whole initial situation had gone out the window completely, because then I was like, this man is now jealous of who I am, and I don't want that. So it kind of turned itself around, the whole situation, that I was hurt, and then I was like shocked at what it was about. So
journey from the start to the finish.
Yeah, it was nice that it kind of resolved itself, and we talk all the time, but I think that's the only thing really. I always get told in shows to tone it down, but not because I'm gay.
Valid, or is it just the energy? Or
I think it's more the energy. And I always laugh and joke, and I'm like, go more, and they're like, no, tone it down, and I'm like, I'll go more. Okay, I'll go more. Like, I laugh and joke with people.
See, for me, when I watch a show, my biggest pet peeve is when people don't go hard enough. So I'm all for more energy. I think the more energy, the better. So
I remember,
I say keep going, keep ramping it up.
I remember one of the boys in the year below me at college came to see Book of Mormon, and we were doing Spooky Mormon Hell Dream, and I was at the front, and I was giving it all like, like when we're not singing. And he was right in front of me, and he messaged me afterwards, and he was like, life has been given for all those sound effects that I could hear during dancing. I was like, great. I was like, fantastic. But I get told to tone it down all the time, but I think it's more of an energy thing. If it came across and I ever felt it was a way and that I was being discriminated, oh my God, I'd be in that company office like, not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the first people to stand up and for a whole cast, and I never used to be like that, but now the further I get down the line, I'm like, we're humans.
Yeah.
Like,
and you need to have respect. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is part of the reason when we set up Pink Pig Productions, was that we never wanted to discriminate. We never wanted to disrespect. We are there to work as a company. I didn't want it to be like the director tells you what to do. We work as a whole. And we talk about things. We talk about issues. Various things happened during filming of the episode 1. People were dealing with like anxiety and panic attacks, and we dealt with it as a company, and we were all there for each other. And I think that's what we
healthiest way to go about it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Sounds like you've created a really nice atmosphere for you and the cast, which is fantastic.
I hope we have. I hope.
Any future projects you can, it'll continue and just grow from strength to strength with it.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, you sometimes like to dabble in the art of drag. Can you please tell us your drag persona name and tell us a little bit about her. Maybe why do you like doing drag? What is it about it for you?
Yeah, so my drag persona is called Gracie Lou, which is named after one of my favourite films, Miss Congeniality. Gracie, who Sandra Bullock is the alter ego of the pageant queen. And then we were on tour with a girl called Sarah Lou, and I just loved the name Sarah Lou, and I was like, it's got to be something like Gracie Lou, something that could be really like cutesy, but also could cut a beep on a night out. Do you know what I mean? So for me, because my job is performing, my job is to get up on stage and entertain, and the radio is hosting and all of this stuff, it's nice to have an artistic creative release that I don't have to feel pressure around. You know, I don't do it for money. I don't do it for, you know, people to go, oh my God, like so many people say you should go on Drag Race, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm like, I would be that first queen out on the first week. Like that is, I'm the pork chop. Like it, and I don't do it. I do it because I love it. I do it because it's creative, and I do it because it releases me from the stress of my own job and my own stuff that I do. For me, drag has been a massive part of my life. A few years ago, I went through a massive like mental health, like down low, like I was the lowest I've ever been. Like I hid behind this persona to try and hide what I was trying to push down in myself. And it wasn't until I entered a drag competition that I realized that I was trying to be somebody that I'm not. And I got to this, and I was very heavily critiqued over everybody else in the competition, and they weren't nice critiques. And I say that because now I have my own company, but I teach a lot as well. I teach kids, you know, of all ages. I teach adults. And for me, it's, you should be nice to people. There's constructive criticism, and then there's just being a full out,
nice
all the words that I can't say. But yeah, so it wasn't until that moment that I went, I really need help. I need to surround myself with people that I love. I need to love myself more. And it's taken a long time. It's taken, and still now, there's times where I'm like, I hate myself. Like, I absolutely hate what I do, and I hate what I've done today. Like, oh God, I was about to spill all the tea that I can't spill. Basically, we're writing a secret project at the moment, and I literally messaged my co-writer, Jenna, and I was like, I'm not sure about this. And she was like, it's good, you're just having one of your days.
Go to bed, have a glass of wine, and come back tomorrow.
Literally that. So yeah, drag for me has taught me to love myself. It's taught me that I can take the time and to process things and to calm down. Like doing makeup, it takes like 2-3 hours. We're not all Kimora Hall from season 13 where she takes like 5 or 6 hours. But it's nice to take that couple of hours to like really hone in. And it sounds really odd, but looking at yourself in a mirror and like really taking in everything that's going on, I find really therapeutic.
It's also, it can be quite emotional as well, having that, just staring at your own reflection. And especially if you have had those issues in the past, it's almost facing your demons, and it's right there, you can't escape it.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, I do drag because it's a creative release from what I do as a job, and I love it.
Creative release from creativity.
Exactly. It's so weird, isn't it, that's how it's happened. But I can't sit down and read a book. I can't sit down for long enough. I have to be creative. I'm such a creative person. So for me, doing that is, I'd love to learn to sew as well. It's on my list to do at some point in my life, is to learn.
Well, maybe one of the lockdowns this year, if we keep going, you can learn.
Lockdown 7.4, like. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
I'm sure it's going to be very bright, whatever it is.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you're never stopping, you, Reece.
Never.
Fantastic. Before we let you go, do you have any social media we can follow you on? And for any of your companies or your personal one?
Oh God, I have too many social medias. Here's the list of real life. So there's my own personal social media, which is Reece Kerridge Official. There's Pink Pig Productions. I think it's Pink Pig Prods UK. But if you type in Pink Pig Productions, we should come up. Sit in the Stalls, at Sit in the Stalls. That's our radio show that we do every week. Get involved, come and vote on our musical of the week. We do like funny little things as well throughout the week.
It's great. I get involved too.
Come and have a play. And I don't really use the drag account, but I post on there just as like a little bit of reference. But it's The Real Gracie Lou, if you want to follow that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on today. I'm sure everyone's going to had a good giggle at our little interview. A nice bit of light relief about theatre.
Fingers crossed. Thank you so much.
Speak to you soon, Reece. Bye.
Bye.